So you're tuning in because you want to, get the important stuff, the latest insights, but without wading through tons of jargon, right? We get it. That's exactly what we do here. Take a sharp look at compelling research so you can stay informed efficiently.
Absolutely. And today, we're diving into something really interesting. It's about how incredibly short workouts might have, well, surprisingly big health benefits.
Yeah, this sounds perfect for anyone who thinks, I just don't have time for exercise.
Exactly. Forget the hour-long gym grind for a second.
You're talking about something much, much more manageable, like actual benefits from super brief daily movement.
That's the idea. Our focus today is a recent study from Edith Cowan University. It came out in the European Journal of Applied Physiology.
Okay.
And it's really making waves, kind of challenging how people think about fitting exercise in.
Right. So the mission for this deep dive, let's unpack what this study actually found. And crucially, what does it mean for, squeezing exercise into a packed schedule?
Okay, let's get straight to it.
Yeah, what's the big headline here, the core finding?
The main takeaway, and it's pretty remarkable, is just 5 minutes. 5 minutes a day of a specific type of exercise led to significant improvements, both physically and mentally.
Wow.
And emphasizing that just 5 minutes part, that's huge. It tackles that time barrier head on.
5 minutes a day, that almost sounds, well, too simple, doesn't it? What kind of exercise are we talking about? It can't be just any 5 minutes of moving around, surely.
Good point. The study specifically looked at eccentric training.
Eccentric training. Okay, refresh my memory.
So it's basically when the muscle is lengthening while it's contracting. Think about the lowering phase of an exercise, like when you're slowly sitting down or lowering a weight. It's that controlled, elongating part.
Got it. So not the lifting or pushing, but the slow, controlled release or lowering.
Exactly.
So what did that actually look like in the study? What were people doing for those 5 minutes?
They did 4 simple bodyweight exercises, 10 repetitions of each every day.
Okay, like what?
Things like chair squats, but really focusing on that slow, controlled sit-down. Then chair reclines, sort of slowly lowering yourself backward in the chair.
Yeah.
Also wall push-ups, but again, emphasizing the slow lowering towards the wall.
Right.
And finally, heel drops, like standing on a step and slowly lowering your heels down. The key for all of them was that deliberate muscle lengthening.
So really isolating that eccentric, that lengthening phase. Okay, this is where it gets fascinating. What happened? What benefits did they actually see after, 4 weeks?
Yeah, just 4 weeks of this minimal daily routine, and the results were significant.
Right.
They saw measurable improvements in muscle strength, also better flexibility, and strength endurance saw a boost too.
Strength, flexibility, endurance.
And perhaps just as important, if not more for some, they reported significant improvements in mental health as well.
That's a really broad range of benefits. Strength, flexibility, endurance, and mental well-being from 5 minutes a day. There was a quote from one of the lead researchers, Professor Ken Nosaka, right? It kind of summed it up well.
Yeah, he put it very clearly. He said, we saw significant improvements in muscle strength, flexibility, strength endurance, and mental health.
Right.
Suggesting that even small amounts of daily exercise can provide sustainable and detectable benefits in sedentary individuals.
Sustainable and detectable benefits, that's key. And he mentions sedentary individuals.
Yes, that was the group they studied, which suggests it's particularly relevant for people who aren't currently very active.
Okay, another big hurdle for people is often, needing a gym, needing equipment. How did this study address that?
That's another major plus here. All the exercises were body weight only. You can do them literally anywhere, at home, no gym required.
Right.
Professor Nosaka highlighted this too. He said, this type of exercise is also more accessible to most people as it makes use of body weight and eliminates the need to go to a gym.
That removes a huge barrier, doesn't it? The
Ah.
cost, the travel time, the intimidation factor of a gym.
Absolutely. It makes the whole idea much less daunting.
And what about fitting it in? Even 5 minutes can feel like a lot sometimes if your day is totally jammed. Did the study say anything about, breaking it up?
It did.
Yeah.
That was another practical point Professor Nosaka made. He mentioned the eccentric exercises can also be spread out during the day,
Oh, okay.
which makes it more achievable to those who are time poor. So you don't even need a solid 5-minute block. You could do, a few reps here, a few reps there.
That's brilliant. A couple of slow chair squats while waiting for the kettle, maybe some wall pushdowns during a screen break.
Exactly. It makes it incredibly flexible.
So let's bring this back to the listener. Why is this research important? What's the real takeaway message?
Well, I think the big picture here is really encouraging. It strongly suggests you don't need these massive time commitments to see genuine, lasting health improvements.
Yeah.
Small, consistent efforts, especially with this type of focused eccentric movement, they really can add up. They can yield tangible results.
It feels like really good news for anyone who finds it hard to stick to longer workouts or maybe feels overwhelmed about where to even start.
Definitely. And because the study focused on sedentary people, it really underlines the potential for folks looking to just begin or maybe find a way back into activity that feels, well, sustainable.
It really challenges that all or nothing mindset about exercise, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. How often do we say, I don't have an hour, so I'll do nothing?
Yeah.
This suggests that maybe 5 focused minutes is something quite significant, potentially.
Okay, so let's recap quickly. This Edith Cowan University study basically found that just 5 minutes a day of eccentric exercises, those slow, controlled, lengthening movements.
Like the slow chair squats or wall lowers.
Right. Those can lead to noticeable gains in strength, flexibility, endurance, and even mental health.
And crucially, it's super accessible. Bodyweight stuff you can do at home.
And you can even split those 5 minutes up throughout your day if needed.
Yeah, it fundamentally questions the idea that exercise have to be long and exhausting to work. Consistency, even in small doses, seems key.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is this. Where could you find just 5 minutes in your day for some slow, controlled movement?
Yeah, think about it. Could you do some slow heel drops while brushing your teeth? Or maybe a few controlled chair squats before lunch?
What small eccentric moves could you weave in? It's interesting to think about what long-term benefits those tiny changes might accumulate over time for your health.
Maybe take a moment later to look up a few more examples of eccentric exercises. See what might fit easily into the little gaps in your day. It could make a real difference.